and we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Amen. Now, we all have our precious moments and memories of Mahogany. Stop for a moment as we have these candles. This is still her. She's still with us. Though she has been taken from our hand, but never our heart. Never our heart. Mahogany, we love you. Please be with us, God, as we release these balloons as a token of our love for her. Letting go, but yet holding on. We love you. Love can keep us together. Think about those precious moments. Think about those precious times that we've had. Nothing can destroy that. And for this, we say thank you. We release these balloons on the count of 3 as a token of our love. 1, 2, 3. Long live Mahogany. We love you. We love you. We love you.
An update on a case that shocked all of us. Mahogany Jackson, a young Birmingham woman who was tortured earlier this year. Some of the abuse even recorded. Well, tonight, charges on 5 suspects in this case have been upgraded to capital murder. We're now talking to Jackson's mother about how she's coping as she seeks justice for her daughter.
Your reporter Bria Chapman live at 5 with us after speaking to her mom and the Jefferson County District Attorney today, Bria.
Yeah, that's right, Jonathan. It's a really sad story. Now, all 8 suspects in this case are facing capital murder charges, and that's something Mahogany Jackson's mom tells me they deserve, and that she will be there every step of the way to make sure justice is served for her daughter.
You contributed to what ended up with my child being gone. Like, she's gone. She's never coming back. And that is so hard for me. It's so hard, you know.
Court records show 20-year-old Mahogany Jackson was kidnapped and brutally murdered, while many of the suspects participated and recorded the attacks for over 24 hours. It's something mom Gail Shearer struggles with 8 months later, knowing there was nothing she could do to save her baby.
I'll get sad thinking about, you know, how much life she still had ahead of her. That's gone. There's nothing I can do about it. It's nothing I can do about it. You know, I used to say to my kids all the time, you know, hey, whatever issue you got, come to me, I'll help you with it. I can't fix this. There's nothing that I can do to fix what happened to my daughter.
Mahogany did reach out to family, calling them for help during the abuse. Now her family is still struggling because they couldn't help her. But Shearer says she's concerned about Mahogany's 4-year-old Nadia.
When I try to tell her, you know, your mom's an angel, nope, you told me she was asleep. My mom is sleeping.
But she knows one day she will have to explain to her what really happened.
When I have to play videos of my daughter for my granddaughter just so that she can see her mom alive, you know what I'm saying? That's heartbreaking. My granddaughter is going to grow up and not get to see her mom again. I'm never going to see my daughter again. That's not right.
Even with upgraded charges, Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr says this will still be a long road to justice.
You know, we have to figure out a calendar, trial dates, whether they'll be tried together, whether they'll be tried separate. There are laws that dictate that as well.
Yeah, Shearer tells me, though, she does not care. No matter how long it takes, she says she will be at every court case, and she's going to work to make sure that no other family has to endure the pain that they've experienced.
Imagine this. You're just 20 years old, a young mother, a daughter, a friend. You think you're meeting people you once trusted. only to be betrayed, tortured, and killed, and the entire thing is caught on camera. This is the brutal, heartbreaking story of Mahogany Jackson, a woman from Birmingham, Alabama, whose final hours were marked by pain, betrayal, and unimaginable cruelty. On February 25th, 2024, Mahogany's final text to her mother read, "I've been kidnapped. Send help. Don't call." It was a kind of message every parent dreads, desperate, vague, but urgent. Her location was sent, but by the time help arrived, it was already too late. Mahogany was tortured for hours, beaten, violated, humiliated, all by a group of people she once knew, people she had trusted. They laughed. They recorded her suffering. Some even posted clips online. It was sadistic, it was calculated, and it was shared with the world. Her body was later found at an illegal dump site beneath 2 old mattresses. Shot in the head, abandoned like trash. This is a story of a life taken too soon, of evil hidden in plain sight, and of justice still being fought for. This is the horrifying case of Mahogany Jackson, and you won't believe what investigators uncovered next. Welcome to True Crime Diaries, where we uncover shocking cases, unsolved mysteries, and the darkest corners of real-life crime. From headline-making events to hidden investigation details, we break it all down so you can understand what really happened. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button. Where are you watching from? Drop your location and thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters. These are real people, real tragedies, and real lessons we can't afford to ignore. Share this video with someone you care about. It might change a life or save one. Let's begin. Mahogany Jackson, a 20-year-old mother from Jasper, Alabama, lived in Birmingham as she worked on rebuilding her life for her young daughter. Her family remembers her as generous and kind. She often shared meals with neighbors in need and determined to finish cosmetology school so she could support her 3-year-old daughter, Nydia. In December 2023, Mahogany told her mother, "I'm 20 and I'm ready to get my life in order," as she distanced herself from troublesome friendships. On the night of February 24th through February 25th, 2024, Mahogany confronted a man she believed had her stolen gun. That interaction escalated when she threatened him with the gun, prompting anger and retaliation from people she knew. Within hours, she had been kidnapped by a group of acquaintances. Over the next night, she was moved across multiple locations in Birmingham, tortured and sexually assaulted while captors filmed parts of the ordeal. Those graphic videos later became key evidence for investigators. As the hours passed, Mahogany secretly sent a desperate message to her mother around 7:30 a.m. on February 25th, sharing her location at Serenity Apartments and saying she was being held hostage, but warned, "Don't call." That call for help triggered a missing person investigation, though by the time police reached the apartment, Mahogany had already been moved from the scene. At approximately 2:19 a.m. on February 26th, a civilian witness spotted Mahogany's body at the side of a road near 17th Street Southwest and Laurel Avenue in southwest Birmingham. She had received a fatal gunshot wound to the back of her head. Fire and rescue personnel pronounced her dead at the scene. The location was approximately 2.5 miles from the apartment where she claimed to be held, underscoring how she had been transported across multiple scenes before being killed. Within 48 hours of discovery, Birmingham police arrested 7, then later an 8th suspect in connection with Mahogany's kidnapping, assault, and murder. Among them are Brandon Pope, Francis Harris, and Jeremiah McDowell, charged with capital murder in both kidnapping and sexual assault, while others face felony and now capital murder charges, including kidnapping, sodomy, and assault. Authorities described the case as among the most heinous, sickening, and depraved they'd encountered. Prosecutors later announced plans to seek the death penalty for all 8 suspects. Mahogany Jackson arrived at the home of 24-year-old Brandon Pope on the night of February 24th, 2024, to confront him over a gun she believed he had stolen from her. Police testimony reveals she took a firearm from another acquaintance, Jeremiah McDowell, and pointed it at Pope, demanding he strip to prove he did not possess it. That confrontation triggered outrage, prompting Pope's associates to retaliate and plan her abduction. Following that incident, Pope reportedly told the group, "She made me strip, do something to her," according to Detective Mark Green's witness testimony. Jackson was then seized by a group of 8 people she knew. During the initial phase of the assault at Pope's house, she was stripped naked, handcuffed, beaten, spat upon, dragged by her hair, and punched and kicked repeatedly. One defendant even struck her in the head using a baseball. Found nearby evidence presented in court included 5 videos, each about 5 minutes long, depicting Jackson's ordeal. One video showed the abuse at Pope's residence, while the remaining 4 were filmed at an apartment at Serenity Apartments. There, she endured further assault, pistol whipping, forced into sexual acts at gunpoint, and repeatedly degraded by multiple members of the group. Detective Green described that Jackson was handcuffed and forced into these acts while the perpetrators filmed the entire ordeal. Video testimony also revealed Jackson repeatedly begged for mercy, expressing, "You had won. Let me go." But the captors ignored her pleas. At the apartment, one member ordered her to perform oral sex, with another saying she needed to hurry because someone else was waiting. She was clearly under complete control and unable to escape at any point. During the early morning hours of February 25th, Mahogany managed to send a text message to her mother. "I've been kidnapped. Send help. Don't call." She also shared her location at Serenity Apartments. The police treated this as a missing persons case and immediately searched the area, but Mahogany had already been moved. Captors found her unlocked code and forced access to her phone, stripping any chance of further contact. Meanwhile, the violence continued, captured in appalling detail and later described by investigators as deplorable and sickening. During the first hours after her kidnapping, Mahogany Jackson endured extreme physical and sexual abuse. At Brandon Pope's home, she was stripped naked, handcuffed, beaten with fists and objects, including a baseball bat, spat upon, and violently dragged across the room by her hair. One suspect reportedly shouted, "Put her in the trunk," while stomping and striking her relentlessly. She was then transported to an apartment at Serenity Apartments shared by 2 suspects. There, surveillance and victim-recorded videos showed Jackson, still naked and handcuffed, being pistol-whipped, slapped, spat on, and forced into sexual acts at gunpoint by multiple attackers. One victim in the video can be heard ordering her to hurry up because she had another one waiting, and another directed her to clean herself up in a bathroom before they began preparing to leave. Investigators collected 8 video files capturing different stages of her assault. In total, a combination of court testimony and evidence described at least 5 distinct videos, documenting hours of abuse across multiple settings. Officials described the recorded content as among the most deplorable, heinous, and unbearable material they had ever reviewed. Despite the brutality, Jackson continuously begged for mercy. She repeatedly said, "You had won. Let me go." But the assailants continued, indifferent to her pleas. One attacker declared just before her execution, "She ain't going nowhere," a chilling final statement before the group moved her to the site where she was shot. In the early hours of February 26, 2024, Mahogany Jackson's body was discovered lie beside a remote road in southwest Birmingham, beneath 2 discarded mattresses. A civilian passing by alerted authorities around 2:19 a.m., prompting Birmingham Fire and Rescue to pronounce her dead at the scene. The medical examiner later confirmed she died from a single gunshot wound to the back of her head. According to court testimony and police reports, investigators believe Frances Harris fired the fatal shot, while 3 others were in the vehicle. The scene, later referred to by some as Dead Man's Row, lies roughly 2.5 miles from the Serenity Apartments where she had been held hostage. District Attorney Danny Carr and Detective Mark Green described the crime as one of the most savage cases they had encountered. The shooting occurred after hours of physical and sexual violence, much of which was recorded by the perpetrators and later used as pivotal evidence in court. At preliminary hearings, prosecutors confirmed that Mahogany had been moved through multiple locations during her captivity. The autopsy confirmed a projectile consistent with a gun found among several recovered weapons. While no motive was publicly disclosed, the group's decision to abduct and record the assault followed her attempt to confront them over the stolen firearm. Following her death, authorities arrested 8 individuals connected to the crime within about 48 hours. The suspects, 3 men initially charged with capital murder for kidnapping and sexual assault, and 5 others upgraded by grand jury to capital murder, remain held without bond. The remaining 5, Giovanni Clapp, 24, Blair Green, 26, Sinai McCall, 24, Taja Lewis, 26, and Ariana Lachey Robinson, 23, initially faced felony murder charges. However, a September 2024 grand jury upgraded all of their charges to capital murder, and 2 of them are also accused of second-degree assault causing injury. Investigators revealed that video footage filmed by the suspects themselves provided key evidence. This footage depicted the assault in real time and was later described by police as among the most heinous they had reviewed. Prosecutors emphasized that these videos played a pivotal role in building their case. At their initial appearances, all 8 suspects pleaded not guilty to the capital murder charges. They were denied bond and remain held at Jefferson County Jail without release. In December 2024, prosecutors formally announced their intent to seek the death penalty for all defendants. District Attorney Danny Carr called the crime an absolutely merciless act and promised that justice would be pursued to the fullest extent of the law. After Mahogany Jackson's body was discovered on February 26, 2024, her family, friends, and local residents in Birmingham began to organize events honoring her life and seeking justice. A candlelit vigil and balloon release were held at Serenity Apartments on February 29, 2024, and later another gathering marked the 1-year anniversary on February 25, 2025, where family members wrote heartfelt messages on pink balloons before releasing them skyward. The event underlined the enduring grief and love her mother expressed. "I think about her every single day. I would just hug her, tell her how much I love her." By September 2024, a grand jury in Jefferson County upgraded all 8 suspects from their initial felony charges to capital murder, a move supported by prosecutors, citing the severity of the crimes. In mid-December, the Jefferson County District Attorney formally announced plans to seek the death penalty against all 8 defendants, describing the case as especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, a designation that makes it eligible under Alabama's capital punishment laws. Thurman called the events deplorable and sickening, and declared it one of the most heinous acts I've seen in my career. As of mid-2025, no defendant has yet been convicted. Pre-trial proceedings continue with the state pursuing maximum punishment. The family, meanwhile, continues to advocate for closure, remembrance, and accountability, with the words "Justice for Mahogany" serving as both rallying cry and memorial. Even after a tragic death, Mahogany Jackson's story continues to resonate deeply, serving as both a heartbreaking emblem of loss and a call for accountability. Police officials, including Chief Scott Thurman, have called the evidence, much of it filmed by the perpetrators themselves, deplorable and sickening, and highlighted that the case ranks among the worst they have encountered.
The Birmingham Police Department officers began investigating the missing persons case of 20-year-old Mahogany Jackson. Mahogany sent a text message to a family member that she had been kidnapped. Early the following day, officers and detectives discovered Mahogany's body in the 1700 block of Laurel Avenue. Investigators determined that she had been shot. With assistance from the community, detectives were not only able to locate Mahogany Jackson's body, but detectives took 7 suspects responsible for Mahogany's murder into custody within 48 hours of this investigation. On Wednesday, February 28, 2024, detectives were able to obtain arrest warrants for the following suspects. Giovanni Clapp, black female, 23 years of age. She is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first degree, sodomy first degree, and assault second with injury. Blair Green, black male, 25 years of age of Birmingham, is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first degree, and sodomy first degree. Taja Lewis, black female, 25 years of age of Birmingham, is charged with felony murder, assault second, injury with a weapon. Francis Harris, black male, 25 years of age of Birmingham, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, sodomy first degree, and capital murder and kidnapping first. Sinai McCall, black female, 23 years of age of Bessemer, Alabama, is charged with felony murder, kidnapping first, and sodomy first. Jeremiah McDowell, black male, 18 years of age of Bessemer, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, sodomy first, and capital murder with kidnapping first. Brandon Pope, black male, 24 years of age of Birmingham, Alabama, is charged with capital murder, kidnapping first, and capital murder with sodomy first. The facts of this case are deplorable and sickening. Saddest of all, they were made public by the suspect's decision to videotape portions of this horrific act. We hope to shield Mahogany's family and friends by withholding specific facts surrounding the investigation. However, we have determined that Mahogany was a victim of sexual assault with murder and kidnapping.
Her mother described Mahogany as someone full of life, loved people, sometimes loved the wrong people, highlighting the complexity of trust and relationships that preceded the crime. The legal developments surrounding the case have further shaped its legacy. A Jefferson County grand jury upgraded all 8 defendants to capital murder, and prosecutors announced they will seek the death penalty for each individual due to the crime's severity and premeditation. Since mid-2005, pretrial motions have been unfolding, including competency reviews, attempts to restrict evidence presentation, and defense challenges, none of which have led to convictions as of yet. Beyond courtrooms, Mahogany's story has sparked broader discussion about violence among known acquaintances, the dangers of peer betrayal, and the role of invasive digital documentation. The fact that her captors filmed the abuse helped secure arrests, but also raised questions about how social media culture enables new forms of cruelty. Activists argue that her death illustrates the urgent need to protect vulnerable individuals, especially young mothers, from exploitation, and to support justice reforms that address systemic failures. Mahogany Jackson's name remains a focal point for her community and her family. Justice for Mahogany is more than a slogan. It is a pledge that her death will not be forgotten and that accountability will be pursued relentlessly. Her story continues to shine a harsh light on violence hidden in familiar circles, while reminding others of the resilience in seeking both remembrance and justice. Thank you for watching True Crime Diaries. Today's story ends here, but there's more unfolding soon, so stay tuned. Your reactions matter. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button to be first with every new episode. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What stood out most to you? We're committed to honoring victims and exposing the truth behind the headlines. More gripping cases are on the way, sometimes hard to watch, but always worth hearing. Until next time, stay informed, stay alert, stay safe.